Hello and welcome to the Sevens in the Sun. This year is Getting Tuned with Algarve Sevens, and I have a special guest today who haven't gone to the Algarve Sevens, and his team also didn't go there from the Esprit Sud. Mr. Alban Maurel, you are the first guest this year that I have speak already with 10, so we'll have 10 interviews coming out that haven't gone to the Algarve Sevens. Yes, for us, it's refreshing because it's the first time. So, as a first time me in June, what you're expecting from the tournament?
So first of all, thank you for having me on the show. I have to say, like, I'm pretty excited to do this tournament because I think it's like one of the top one on my list, which I haven't done in Europe, and so I expect a strong level of competition. First of all, I think a lot of fun because as you can see, like in the intro video, we have like so much entertainment going around on this event, and also on a competition level, I would really want with my team to reach like the highest level we can have, and uh, and try to win this tournament. So a lot of expectations on the field as around it.
Can you tell us a bit about your team? What's the origins, if you know the origins, and how do you work for the seventh season when the 15th season is so big and normally in a World Cup year takes so much time and attention from the sevens?
Yeah, it's a valid point. So my team is Esprit Sud 7, so it's like a South Spirit 7, I would say, like in English. I think it's like 11 years old. We have people working for the association for I think for quite some years now. It's a big one. We've been created a long time ago, and we have a lot of players who came in, who went out, who took their time out. Like they stopped playing rugby after being in the team because it was the best time they had in the team. In terms of the origins, I know the people who created the team, and they're like super passionate about rugby sevens. So we are based in south of France between Montpellier and Toulouse. So that's around the two main camps that we have,
Mhm.
and we have trainers, coaches from Montpellier and from Toulouse. Um, so the association has been growing quite a lot in the past few years, and for the 10th anniversary, we could go to Dubai with the whole team, for the girls and the boys. So we have like the two teams are really equals in terms of the service, the expectation that we have, either the guys or the girls, and we have like a super good mentality. Like it's super nice to play within the team because you can feel like supported, and boys and girls really get along with each other. So it's great. I've been playing in the team for I think 3 years now. Right now, I'm captain of the team, and it's quite a challenge because in sevens, as you mentioned, we have a very long 15 season. Sometimes we have players not available. Sometimes some are injured. Some are not released by the clubs. So it's tough to have consistency within the team. So it's good to have some pillars and some players who can really dedicate themselves to rugby sevens. So in my specific case for this year, with my club, we are reaching the finals for the 15. So I might have to not to come to some specific tournaments, but I really expect to be here for the main ones. So
Mhm.
we'll see how far we go with the 15, but I hope that I will be able to play as many tournaments as possible with the rugby sevens.
Oh, that's very cool to know. And you are the captain. So let me just ask this because in the 15s we know the captain has a huge role, but it's a longer time. So 80 minutes to captain is good, but sevens is it's just little time and it's such a quick game. So what are your worries or what you have to focus your team on those 14 minutes when you're playing?
It's a good point. I think once you're on the field, it's perhaps a little bit too late, even though you can have an impact on what you do, what you say. And I think the best way you can act as a captain is leading by example. So you really put yourself out there on the pitch, make the most efforts, show the resilience, never give up. So it inspires the team and make sure that the boys are going to follow. But I think what's most important is to put the team in the right mindset before entering the field. So you need to have like everybody ready to know what they're going to face on the field, that the strategy is understood, and even if like it's a big part of the coaches to make sure it's clear. As a captain, you are on the pitch, you are with the players, so you know what they feel, you know what they think. So you need to make sure that all the informations are well understood by the players, and then that we can apply them on the field to play at the highest level that we can.
You're talking about the highest level, about your job, your role. But how is rugby in France? Because it's so intense. You have so many clubs. I know that you play in the. You're still playing in the Federal
Yeah, federal. Three.
for Montpellier Nord.
I don't know, it was
No,
a long time ago.
I know what. Okay, so there's so many leagues, so many professional teams, so many semi-professional teams. So how do you go around from playing 15 all the year and go to sevens? How many weeks do you have to make that change from the 15 aside to the seven?
So it's quite a challenge. Sevens is still small, I would say, compared to 15. As you mentioned, we have like so many teams, professionals, semi-professionals, and sevens. It's only associations for now, and some clubs are creating their like sevens
Hmm.
section, but it's still pretty small. So the challenge here is to find the right timing to
Hmm.
have the sevens tournament and to have specific moments where you can train with the team. So I'm going to take the example of Esprit Sud 7. They are like putting resources to have the players meeting during the 15th season. So, for example, when we have weekends where we don't have games, they will organize like specific training sessions for during the whole weekend. We are going to gather. We're going to play sevens, of course, but we're also going to meet to bond, and that's super important for the team. So it's quite a challenge to trying to find the missing spots in like the free slots that we have in the 15th season, but usually we try to. So we have the seventh season starts in like in May around that time,
Hmm.
and we usually have like 2 or 3 tournaments during starting September to April. So it's not a lot, but it's still something to prepare for the high season come starting in May. Of course, it's a challenge, especially during the final phase where we have a lot of players missing, and it's always complicated to have like the same team showing up to the tournaments.
Um, with that in your mind, in Algarve 7, who is in June, so you have almost a month to prepare the team. But the season of the 15th season is still ongoing
Mhm.
for the Pro D2 and Nacional, so it's still a long way to finish. So how many weeks you'll have to prepare for the Algarve Sevens? And you told in the beginning that you want to win it. So how can you? What's the team focus? How are you preparing for that such a hard tournament?
It's a very good point. I think like the training started a long time ago. We If you come up with a team, even if you train for a month, you're not even if you have a good players, you won't have the know how to play together and to know how to handle a sevens tournament if you don't have like past experience. So we have like a game strategy that has been established for years and that we are always refining, always improving. And for that, you need to have the players who know how to play it,
Hmm.
and it's very important to have consistency, as I mentioned in the team.
Hmm.
So, first of all, you need to be in super good shape to play sevens. That's no secret. So that's up to you and up to the work that you do with your 15 or your sevens team. And as I mentioned, we have like those special moments that they set up during the season for us to gather and to play. And coming up with the sevens in Portugal, we want to make sure that we're also ready to do it. And we have some tournaments coming up, such as the Hinton, or I think there are like Melrose Sevens coming up also, and we are participating in those ones because they are part of our training, our preparation to come to those big tournaments such as Algarve Sevens. So it's, I think, a whole preparation.
And you know who the champions from the Algarve Sevens are because they are from France, the 70s.
Yeah.
So Hong Kong will be there too, and other great teams. But a French final between the 70s, who is a very good team, and yours. What would happen even if it's in a semi-final? what would happen if both teams would meet up? Because the French flair is the French champagne rave is completely different from what you see in England or in Ireland or in Scotland. How do, how does what would you expect, or how would you sell it to the fans for this bout between two French sides?
It's a good point. Actually, like 70s are a bit our nemesis. So it's they're a really good team. They have already great players and a good know-how of sevens. So
Mhm.
it's tough to play against them because it's they're really playing sevens. And it's a bit when we play against them, we always play to win, and it's always super intense and competitive game. So like I highly encourage to watch it because we're gonna play 100%, specifically because we know against who we are playing, and we have been facing each other for so long in final phases. So when you reach that phase, you want to make sure you get the upper hand and you win that game. So it's always like super high intensity, 100% into the game. So yeah, it's quite something.
How do you get the upper hand against like your nemesis? How do you get the upper hand from them?
So it's when you apply the game strategy perfectly. When you do so, when you're in control, when you have the ball, that's when you get it. Like only a few teams are able to defend while going backwards. I think like we have like Fiji's and perhaps South Africa, but all the other ones who are not professional, they cannot defend like that. So when you apply perfectly the game strategy, you don't make any mistakes in defense, that's how you win. So we did it by the past. It happens. So we just need to make this happen again.
You talked about the first thing that has a seventh player have to have is the conditioning, but what would be another special asset that individually a player, a good sevens player, have to has to possess?
It's a good point. And so when I think conditioning, so it's in the body, but also in the mind. So what you need to have when you play sevens is not to burn your wings because you are trying to go too fast or too far, or you're not respecting the game plan. So you need to be able to understand when there is a true opportunity for you to go 100%, or if you need to stick with your partners and to play a collective game. So I would say like this is what could have made us lose some games in the past. Is that players, because they come from the 15, they don't have like the sevens vision. They make mistakes because they think it's going to work playing sevens, but it's a very different game. So when you play sevens, you need to have like this physical conditioning, which is on top. Yeah, and you need to be ready to play sevens and to think seven. So it means you need to forget everything you learned about rugby 15 because it's not going to be useful for you in that game. So I think like this would be the most important quality in my opinion.
About qualities, I asked her already what you expect from the Algarve Sevens, but for someone who will be newcomer, what do you want to see from such a big tournament? What do you want to see once you get there and walk up on the stadium and see the people and the stands and so on?
It's a good point. So first of all, I expect like paradisiac view coming at a really super nice complex. You know, with people here to play sevens to have a good time. This is always great when you come to a sevens tournament. It's a mood that you have, and personally, I know that I'm happy when I have a competitive team, so playing with me and super dedicated to win, and that we are playing similar teams. You know, they are here to win. They are here to play sevens, and it's always a moment where you feel that there is so much tension, so much thing to do. Like you have to go above and beyond to win those games, and that's the feeling I'm trying to get when I would try to get when I'm coming to Algarve because I know that level is going to be very high. So I want to make sure that we're able to compete and to win this tournament.
Oh, that's incredible. Alban, to finish our interview, how do you define the Spirit Sud Sevens team?
Sorry, could you come again?
How could you define what's the best definition for for the Spirit Sud team?
Ah, um, it's a very good point. So I think like from the experience I could have, it's been 3 years in the team, and I really feel like it's been such a strong attachment growing to the team. Um, like I'm gonna say the word family because it's what's come top of mind. When we went to Dubai, we were like so bonded with everybody in the team. We had like such a great time, like a big family. And every time something's happening, like everybody's always trying to be joyful, helping. Everybody's happy about what we do, and so we are really living together in union, and that's so nice to see. And now we expect to have the sportive results at the same level as the mood that we have in the team.
Well, that's very good to know. Well, we hope to see you in Algarve doing amazing stuff. You are the captain,
I
so
hope so.
big expectations from you
Yeah,
as
big.
as every team. So I want to say thank you, and you to the people at home. You're going to see when you go to the stands. You can see at home too because it's going to be streamed the tournament. You're going to see Alban Maurel leading his Esprit Sud men's team. The women's team is coming too, so it's such nice when you have the two teams from the same emblem going. And I hope to see you there. And let's see if we have a semi-final or a French final. But the competition this year is fierce. So we'll see you in 9th of June. Everyone at home, check our website, see the other interviews. We already talked with Experience Nemesis 70s. So it's quite a good contrast to hear both sides, but you make the same points about the sevens and the conditioning and so on. So thank you, Alban, and see you there.
Thank you so much, Francisco. Thank you.
Bye.
See you there.